Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Guys Podcast. I am Tiff, and I'm here with my amazing host and co host.
What's up?
And
What's up? How's everything?
wonderful.
What's going on, Tiff? How you feeling?
I'm doing really, really well. Thank you for asking.
Good.
So, we got a
Yes,
good
ma'am.
one for y'all today. I'm bringing my little Steve Harvey. Um, we're going to be discussing why Black women should listen to Black men. Um, And obviously, before we get into the nitty gritty of this subject, we have to ask, is this something that is new, trending, or, has this been something that has been slowly boiling over for the past couple of generations? Um, Black women feel like they've been misunderstood, and Black men feel like they're not giving being given the opportunity to lead. We have been strong and resilient, not because of choice, but because of history and because circumstances have demanded it within our race, and our experiences on both sides have been belittled and unheard. Our voices are ignored, and it's what came first, the chicken or the egg? Should men be steadfast in their leadership so that women can listen to them and feel safer? Or should women just kind of submit and listen to them and hope that, men become worthy of that leadership title? So, with that being said, I'm going to open this up to the rest of the panel. And whoever wants to answer first, why should Black women listen to Black men?
Oh, you want me to go first? Or?
Well, you can take it away. You can
All
take
right.
it away.
So the question is, why should black women listen to black men? I mean, before you give anyone any type of advice, before you offer any type of suggestions to anybody, you should want to know what desired outcome they want, right? You should only give advice if you understand what that person ultimately wants. So if black women want to get married, if black women want to have children, should they listen to black men? I would think so. So if they want to get married and have children, they definitely should listen to black men because we all know black men represent the highest. Um, that's their best chance at marriage is marrying a black man. Because when you look at data, dating apps, black women are the least desired women, a demographic of all races, along with Asian men. Asian men are the least desired men, and black women are the least desired women demographic. So I would think if black women wanted to get married and they wanted to have a family and they wanted to be led and protected, their best chance at getting that would be from a black man. So you would have to listen to what the group of people who's most likely to marry you have to say, right? Just like if as a man, if you want to be attracted to women, if you want to be able to be desired by women, you should kind of know what women want, listen to them, and observe and hear what they have to say. So definitely, and if even if they don't desire to be married, I mean, black men out of all the races of men are most likely to protect a black woman because black men are the protection arm of black women, right? So, I don't think men of other races are going to be in line trying to protect black women more so than black men would be. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I say the reason why black women should listen to black men is because when you look around, it's obvious that the black community is in the worst condition opposed to the other races and communities, right? So sometimes when things are going wrong, you have to look around and say, what are other people doing right if they're getting the results that you want? And not to say that they're doing immaculate, but they are doing better than us. So sometimes you have to look at the competition, and I think the competition, they're all doing better than us, right? So you have to say, what are they doing to get that? And all of them are doing better in the family dynamic, right, in the family area. So if you want family and um, structure and order and things to run a certain kind of way, you have to understand that's what the man provides. He provides structure and order. Women don't necessarily follow orders. Even when they're left to themselves, they're left and they, for lack of better terms, run amok, right? So we have to know the first, and I think I said this last time, right? But the first law of nature is, I mean, the first law of the universe is motion. Second law is order. So if you're just moving and you're out of order, then you're in chaos. If you're in chaos, that means you will get no results. You have to be in motion, but with order. So black women obviously have been leading the charge for some time now, a few decades now, and it hasn't been working. So we have to go back to what works. And what works is the black man in the position, or men in the position, as we see that with other races, men in the position of leadership, and the woman following that lead. If we want to get back to um, uh, some sort of what I would say, um, I'm losing the word, but if we want to just have a good relationship with one another, we have to get back to men leading and women following those men.
Okay. All right. So, Mo, I'm going to go back to you. You talked about how black women's like first protectors. They're the first line of defense.
Mhm.
Um, what I'm hearing from black women now is that they actually don't feel protected by black men. They feel disrespected, maybe like thrown to the wolves. There's a lot of like women hating online, rage baiting, and things like that. A lot of finger pointing and blaming. And do you feel like, one, do you believe that? Do you believe that black women don't feel protected by black men, and that has something to do with, them not trusting them enough to listen to them?
I think I think it all stems from young black women growing up without fathers, right? If you don't have a father in the household, most black women are being raised in fatherless households. So if you don't have a father in the household, you're not going to respect male authority. If you don't know what positive masculinity looks like, when you grow up, you're not going to respect it because it was absent. And unfortunately, we live in a society where young women hear their moms talk bad, right? Talk ill of men. Their grandmother could possibly be talking ill of men. She's seen her mom do it all by herself. So she's at that point kind of like had a resentment towards men. So now we're talking about a young lady who comes from a broken home, never experienced any type of positive masculine leadership, coming to a world where now she's dating. She's at a mature age where towards now she can start being romantically involved, right? How does she know how to pick a man? How does she know when to allow her man to come in and lead? And also, too, when you look at black men, a lot of black men are saying, why should we have the responsibility of protecting you when we don't have the authority over directing you, right? That's slavery. You want us to have the responsibility, right, of protecting you, but we don't get the respect of being a leader. We don't get the respect of having that authority. So a lot of men, not just black men, but men in general, now I think we're looking at it as like a bad deal. Why should I be responsible for a woman's safety and her protection if she's not going to listen to me, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay. All right. And you talked about order.
Yeah.
Who's responsible for that order?
Who's responsible for
That
in order?
hierarchy, of like God, man, woman, child, and keeping order in the traditional sense, because you said like if there's no order, there's chaos. And for a while,
Right.
black women have been leading in the households, and whether or not they have done a good job or a bad job, because that's another episode. My question is, who's responsible for that order?
Well, when you say who's responsible for that order, it's, as you said, God, man, woman, children, right? So first, God is the head of everything. The man has to follow, do his best to strive to be upright to God, and then the woman will follow him, and then so on and so forth. The children come, and then that's the order of things. But even with that, we all know that, right? So first of all, in order to have that, you have to, because I said God is first, you have to have a woman who has a faith, right? She has to have some sort of religious
Mhm.
foundation. If she doesn't, then she's going to be choosing wrong. And even when she does, it comes to term that now women even are in the church and still saying, I don't need a man, or the only man I need is Jesus. Jesus isn't here, right? So then you need to follow somebody else who is following suit to that in which you believe in. So the man is the next up in line. You have to follow him, and it's your choice on who you pick, and it's your decision on who you pick to follow. If you don't want to follow someone, then don't get involved with the
Mhm.
man, right? So you have to do the vetting process, and then you have to say, this is the man I want to follow because he has a purpose, right? Striving to do his purpose or whatever God put him in position for. And then that's how the order is established. That man is following God, that woman is following that man that she chose to follow, and she chose to have authority over her and to have some control over her, because control is just you don't abuse control, or you're not out of control or abuse your authority, right? You have to be able to rule justly, but she chose him, so she should follow him. And then that's how we're back in order. But like you said, I understand that women don't really trust the men now for whatever reason. But in order for things to go back to a decent space, that's the order we have to follow: God, man, uh, children.
Okay. So, as a woman, I believe just like, respect is earned and not given, I also feel that way about leadership. Um, I'm not going to blindly follow someone's lead just because they happen to be a man of any race, any background, or just based on, what they show, their facade. So what does earned leadership look like inside a partnership? Like what does that look like for you guys when you're thinking about, your girlfriends or your wives or the mother of your children?
So what it looks like. So wait. So the first thing was, wait. What was the first? Is it two questions within that or one?
So it's one. I'm just using the, how respect is earned and not given. It's the same thing when it comes to leadership.
Yeah. But hold on. And I think I want to go back real quick because I think. Oh, I think you kind of, because Tiff was asking who's responsible for that order.
Oh, yeah, 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 go ahead, Ma.
Like what you were saying was what the order is, which was a
Yeah,
great answer. But who's responsible for instilling that order, right? Who is,
like out of the man and the
yeah,
woman.
like who is, like, how do we enforce that order, right?
Yeah, but I guess I'm not understanding the question, because there's only man, woman, and then you have the children. So the man has to instill the
Okay,
order. But like I said, he cannot instill the order over someone who doesn't want to take orders, right? It's just like if you go into the army. If you're not following the rules of the army, right, of whatever your commander, whoever it is, you get put out. So who's instilling the order, or who's in charge of it? It's the man. If you don't want to follow his orders, then you just have
perfect.
to
Okay,
leave.
so now I just wanted to, because, like, that was a great answer right there, because like you
Yeah,
said it's a man's job to instill it, but if a woman's not on the program, she got to go. So
right,
okay, so cool. So I love that answer. All right, perfect, perfect. So now that's your answer.
right,
Got you.
To instill it, right, and enforce that order, but there has to be a woman that's ready to accept that, right? She has to be receptive to that information,
right,
put them in the natural way of things.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
And for our audience, we all know that black women didn't just wake up one day and say, F black guys, and we're doing our own thing, whatever. We know our history. We know that this was not our doing. The separation and the nucleus, the family nucleus of the black family was the destruction of the nucleus of the black family was not our choosing, black women or black men. It was something that happened to us, that was forced onto us. Um, and now we're seeing the repercussions of that in such a unique way in this day and age. In 2025, we're seeing how it's, people are have gone astray.
Yeah.
Men, are hating women, and everything is their fault, and they don't listen. And we're also hearing it, black women are talking shit about black men, and you ain't this and you ain't that, and you know what I mean. And it's like, I feel like we've been pawns in their game, and they're sitting back just laughing at us right now, like, ha, moo, ha, 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 it's working. Yes, you know what I mean. And it's so frustrating.
But is
Yeah,
it fair to say, because men, we haven't changed, right? Like, I don't think black men abandoned the black women. I think black women, if you have to look at it, who was working closer with the enemy, I would think black women were working closer. Because if you look at, out of the two, women tend to be more emotionally led, tend to be more emotionally unstable, right? So I think it was easier to convince black women to um, step away from the black family. If you look at the data and stats, black men, there's more black men married than black women, but there are more black women having children, and there's more black women that have children than black men. So black men are getting married. Black men are still family oriented. Black men, according to the CDC, are the most involved race of men when it comes to daily care with their children. So black men, we've been what we've always been. I think it was more so black women were easier to be led astray and lied to and manipulated to step away from the black family, and the stats align with what I just did. And it's funny when black men even try to place order. What I see is black women utilizing the arm of the law to get involved and putting that man in legal situations that make it harder for him to have access to his children. So how can you come in and enforce, that nuclear family and foundation when the black woman can utilize the court system, the family court systems, right, to put black men in compromising situations when it comes to how they are involved with their families?
Yeah.
yeah, Tiff, and I gotta say this, right? We can't run with that anymore. Like, they put us against it. We know that, right? We know that they put us against each other. But the fact of the matter is, and you don't hear, just to go back to something you said, you don't hear black men saying, I don't need a woman, or I don't need no black woman, or you don't. But you hear black women saying, I don't need no man. Black men are still in pursuit of black women, but black women are giving them a hard time. That's just the truth, right? So when you say black men hate black women, that's not true. That's not the general consensus of the black community. But the general consensus of the black community for the women are, women, I don't need no man, I hate these niggas, or whatever it is you want to say. So that's a old played out um, narrative that can't be ran with anymore, right? That's, I think, women are saying that in order not to take accountability. Women are the foundation of the home. So if you're raising these children in the home, you have to take responsibility for the wreck that you've made. Since you cannot do it, you have to listen to the black man. Point blank period. Because that's how order is restored. But we're not gonna say, we can't keep saying black men hate black women. That's not true. Unless we wouldn't continue to pursue you guys.
Mhm. And I'm talking about the rhetoric that I'm hearing on social media right now. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
know it's not
I
you.
haven't necessarily personally, heard someone say that, but like, this is the stuff that's being fed and watched by, very impressionable young people. And so, now you have the generation of mom and grandma or aunties talking in their ear, and then now they're seeing it on their feed, and vice versa, the same thing. You're here, men are also hearing stuff as they're growing up, and now they're seeing this rage bait stuff on social media, and it's very destructive. I feel like with social media now, it makes it easier to come up with that divide, like to put out there this narrative that we hate each other, right? And so other races are looking at us like, what the hell's going on in the Black community? And it's kind of really embarrassing. And to your point, oh, it's like, yeah, we know this, we we know this, but there are so many people that are younger than us that either maybe don't know the history, because they weren't taught and brought up in households like that, or they're absorbing and listening to all the noise out there online. And it's like, it's almost a sad state right now, because we need each other more than ever in
But
this climate, this, you know what I mean?
but let me tell you something, Tiff. What should be very eye opening to everyone is that black men are still desired by women of other races, but black women are not desired, right, by men of other races. What does that tell you? Who's the real problem? If black men are not having a problem getting into relationships and marriages with women of all different races, but black women are, what does that tell you? So not only are black men fed up and kind of fatigued with the masculinity of a black woman, her unwillingness to listen and take heed to what's being told to her, unwilling to be led, but yet black men are still embodying the traits and characteristics that make them good suitors for marriage. So
Mm-hmm.
if black men give up on y'all, you guys have nowhere else to go. I mean, 300,000 black women already just got laid off. And then now I was watching some other documentaries, and I was watching some things, and I was reading some reports where is that young black women are finding it harder to find occupational opportunities. So if we're giving up on black women, who's going to come in and support you guys? Who? Because black men are still getting married. And then if you look at a lot of the data that are negative representations, I mean, look at as far as obesity. Black women lead in obesity. Black women are the heaviest. They represent the most obese women. Black women on average weigh 187 pounds. Customer service reviews. Black women are scoring poor, right? People are saying that they don't don't really like waiting on black women, and they don't like being waited on by black women. They rank the lowest in customer service reviews. So aside from the black men, let's take the black men away from it and just look at what the world is saying about black women. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not pleasant. They're the most masculine. They're the most dysfunctional. They raise the worst children, right? They are the most obese. They probably out of all the women are most likely to wear hair that's not theirs. So it's like there's so many things that black women should work on to be more desirable by men of her own race, that she should have no time thinking about talking about a black man or what he's doing. Right? So she has to look in the mirror and figure out, what can I do to better myself so that I'll be more desirable to the men of my race.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to the question that I had asked before about, um, is leadership being earned and not automatically given? What do you guys feel about that?
So I have something. I have something to say about that. If you chose the man, why does he have to earn the leadership? You saw something in him to lead you, right? So I don't understand why you would pick a man that can't lead you, or you didn't see fit to lead you. So if you saw a man and he wasn't fit to lead you, why did you get with him? So that means whatever comes from that situation is your fault, because you had to pick that man. You had to get with that man. That man couldn't get with you if you didn't allow him to. So If you chose that man, you're responsible for whatever it was that comes out of that. So I don't really see why he has to necessarily earn it. Does he have to keep it up in the relationship? That's one thing. But to earn it off the rip, no.
And not only that, not only is she getting with him, she's having kids with him.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, even throughout the whole relationship, if you chose to go on that long with the man, or to, and I keep saying, give the highest honor of laying down and having a child, reproducing this man, that's his seed in your soil, and you chose to reproduce this man, and you didn't see fit for him to be a leader, then what type of child were you planning on bringing into the world in the first place?
Okay. Mo, you have anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. Just to piggyback on what off of what Omar said, like it's too late. Like you should have figured out if he was a leader before you got with him. Because the problem is this: women are still having kids out of wedlock. Like black people are still having sex. You guys are still sexually active. You guys are having sex without protection.
Okay, we, not you guys, because sex takes two.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
You
Women,
totally
yeah,
accurate.
but women have more responsibility in the reproductive process than men do. A man can go and get 1,000 women pregnant and leave. You have to sit with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that even when you look at abortion, like pro-life or pro-choice cases, women get the last say. Some states it might be illegal in some states. It might not be allowed, but you can go to a state and the man has no say whether that kid is birthed or aborted. If I want the kid and you don't, you can still get an abortion. If you don't want the kid and I do, right? I'm sorry. If you want the kid and I don't, you can keep it.
Mm-hmm.
So women have more responsibility, right? In in terms of reproduction. So, and we all know that if you're allowing a man to have sex with you, most men are going to take it. I'm not saying all men are leaders. I'm not saying that all men are substantial gentlemen. But
Right.
if you throw sex at any man for free, he's going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
To you to decide who you allow, right, to enter your body. Furthermore, I don't think why aren't women getting married before they carry? If all women said, "Hey, I'm not having sex," or I'm not giving my body to a man that's not my husband, because ideally that's what marriage is about, right? Ideally, women were virgins. That's why they wore white, right? It signifies purity, and this is why men were so readily available to risk his life over his virgin wife. That was the highest honor you can give a man is your purity, right? And then losing your virginity to a man that's making you an honest woman, right? So we're all backwards. But if a man is presented with sex, he's going to take it. But it's up to you as a woman to say, you know what? I'm going to hold off and make sure that I'm a wife first before I entertain a man and give him the opportunity to be the father of my children.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and answer my own question and give my 2 cents.
But wait, what do you think about that, Tiff? What do you think about what we said?
What? Well, which part exactly?
I said like women need to show more. Um, they need to, you know, be more disciplined in terms of
Who they sleep with, who they choose to.
who they allow to father their children.
I agree 1,000%. I think I'm gonna get shot. I think like people should have to go through counseling and
Why would,
testing.
why would you get shot if you're telling the truth?
I'm just saying, I listen. Somebody might, but
They need
I,
more.
I think that you should prove that you are capable and able to procreate. But
So
that
they should
when you say prove, how do you want him to prove that?
okay. So that all right. So I'll go ahead and answer that. I think, and it goes both ways. Just like a woman has to prove that she is wife material, right? I'm thinking about from the beginning steps of when you start talking to someone. You're learning. You got the honeymoon period. Everything is great. But are we automatically going to open our doors and our hearts and our beds to people that we're just meeting? And the answer is no, because we shouldn't be. We should be reserved. We should be calculating. We should be cautious. When we're engaging with other people. And so just like respect is earned, right? Why should I respect you? Why should I trust you? Um, why sh- why should I let you lead me? These are questions that I know that I have asked myself and men that I've been talking to or dating. These are really great conversations that honestly need to be had before you lay down with them and have sex, procreate, get married. Like these answers, these questions, these thought provoking conversations should be part of, that 3 to 6 month interview process when you're dating someone, right? Like,
That's a long time. Yeah.
hmm,
That's a long
what,
time
3 to 6 months?
to find out if this person
Well, no,
is
because
gonna.
first of all, the first 3 months are the honeymoon period, right?
There should be no honeymoon. There should be no honeymoon period if this man can't lead you. You should have asked the right questions. You should have seen whatever you needed to see in that man before you said, "I'm going to continue to converse with this man any further."
Absolutely.
If you meet a man, so then this.
I
That's what I'm
agree
saying.
with
So
you, but you're in that euphoric state of new love, right? You're getting to know each other.
no, there's no love,
No,
Tiff.
the
How do
new
you
love,
get to
not
love?
love as in I love you, let's get married, but the proverbial new love thing. You're just, oh my God, he's the greatest thing ever. Oh my God, she's so awesome. Oh, you know
Then
what
you did not vet. This is what I'm saying, Tiff. If you're talking about the
I mean?
beginning, the very inception of something, right? It shouldn't even get there if you didn't ask the right questions. If you're looking for someone to lead you, you'll be looking for characteristics of how this man talks, how he walks, the things that he does, job, career, where he sees himself in life. If you can't identify that within the first three conversations, then how is this? Then you shouldn't even be in a euphoric state or in a honeymoon period. It shouldn't even get anywhere. That's a waste of time and that's racking up
In a
bodies.
perfect world, I agree with you, and I personally have gone through, like, the speed dating thing, right? Nope, first date, nope, not calling you again, blah blah blah. Like, you feel it. But there are circumstances in which we get rope-a-doped, men and women. It's happened to me, where it said the right things, answered the right questions during those
Okay.
first few very important conversations of getting to know someone. And on paper, verbally, you are saying the right thing. It's like you're in my brain and you know exactly what I want to hear, but then you have to put that into action. And that's why I extended it a few more months in, because you can say the right thing on the first 2 dates, but over those 3 to 6 months, I'm also watching your actions and you're watching my actions. And that's by month 6, you should know whether, all right, this is it, or we're moving forward, because the actions and the
That's a
words
long
are
Tiff,
time.
aligned.
That's
but, but
Imagine if you met two guys a year and you doing 3 to 6 months. That's two bodies a year, right? That's two bodies. I get what you're saying, but that's two bodies a year, right? Of guys that you're gonna move on
Mhm.
past. So in 2 years, you've slept with four different guys, and now you're gonna be comparing those guys to whoever it is you finally meet and fall in love with. So then you probably won't even really love the guy that you're with because you're thinking about how John was twisting you up like a
Oh my
pretzel, and
God.
your husband is. No, I'm just. It's just real. They shouldn't. It shouldn't get there because if you ask the right questions, and then I'm looking at you, and this is the part where women don't vet right because you just go by what you hear and it's, oh, he said the right thing. No, it's he says something. Now I have to see if his actions align with what he
Yeah.
said. If you're not looking at that properly, then you're going to choose wrong, and that's when you're
So
going to be racking
you
up
and I are
bodies.
saying the right thing. It's just that you're saying that your timeline is different than my timeline at the end of the
Yes,
day. Okay.
Hey, Tiff,
real
within
quick.
those 6 months, you're having sex with that guy. Now, if it doesn't work out, like you said, on to a next guy. Another 6 months, having sex with the guy. But the thing that people miss is women should not be picking husbands by themselves. They have to have a
That's a
father
fact.
helping guide their decision. because when this is a fact, because when women are young, they choose for biology traits, right? As they get older and they're past their prime, they choose for stability traits. Now, if you have a father that's responsible, that raised you right, that's intelligent, that has wisdom, that has knowledge, he can help you bypass that biology phase of desire and go straight to this stability stage. That's rule one. Women should not be fucking picking anything by themselves. It should be a family decision. But when I suggest we should do arranged marriages, the first thing that women say is no. Like, how can you be suffering from an illness and someone is giving you the actual prescription, right, to fulfill you, to cure you? You're saying no. It makes no fucking sense. Women are divorcing at a higher rate than men. Lesbian couples are getting divorced more than gay couples. So that shows you right there, women don't know how to pick men. They need to have a strong father figure, or if the father's not there, a brother, right, that can help them bypass all of that emotional desire and go straight to, can this man provide, protect, provision, and lead me? You understand? So we in any other, all the communities that's successful, women don't pick husbands by themselves. It's a collective, right? It's a whole family structure helping. I need to know this man. Where does he come from? What kind of childhood did he have? Who raised this man? What are his goals? What are his plans? What kind of father did he have? What kind of dynamic did that young man grow up in? Those are the kind of questions I'm gonna ask before any man takes my daughter on as a wife.
Yeah.
Right? As a father, you don't. Oh, like, Dad, I'm just dating. The fuck? It makes no sense. Like, who knows men better than men?
True.
Who knows the tricks and games that men play better than men? Right? So
Then I would say that that
it's
fathers would probably be like, yeah, don't marry anybody, don't fuck them, don't have babies with them, and don't marry them.
No,
not true.
No,
stop
no,
it.
no, no. Wait,
Stop
my dad.
it.
Listen. One, it's funny. It's
That's one thing.
yeah.
That's like buying a house. As a home buyer, there's other people that you have to lean on to help you make a decision. That's why you get a home inspector. You don't buy a house without getting a fucking home inspector to inspect the pipes, the plumbing, the roof. Why are women buying homes without getting it inspected? Your father is the home inspector.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get that. But if you don't have a father in the household, it's not going to happen. That's why women have to pick right to ensure that, right, you got to start from somewhere. That there's a father in the household so that when our little girl grows up or our son grows up, we have a balanced, foundation so that we can make the best decisions for our children. But
No, I was gonna say it's funny, and literally, I could call my sister right now on speaker and say, when men open their mouths, she's going to respond, they're lying, because that's what our father taught us. Now, like, he's amazing, but he was also somebody that was like, nah, like, niggas will dog you out. I was nigga. Okay, ask your mom. Like, I know they're gonna lie, they're gonna cheat.
why the father is supposed to bring the man to you. Do you understand, Tiff? The mother and father, they do the best. They bring him to you. You don't bring a man in and say, Daddy, I love him because he's telling me things. No, I'm the one that bought him. It sounds extreme, but in order for women and men to come together and live successful lives within a marriage foundation, within a nuclear family, it has to be other people making the decisions. Because we all know women can't pick.
Yeah, I would say I'm my batting score is kind of low myself,
No, but Tiff, let's not even. As a whole, women are not picking. Women are on their second baby father, still dating. Baby father, I'm looking for a man. Looking for. Do you know how many women right now are running through men just to get like to one at the end? Like, what is your goal?
Yeah, what's your end goal? Right.
To fucking get married? You need to, right, do things and put yourself in the best position to find a husband.
Yeah.
And that means having someone, help you and aid you, someone that you respect, someone that who has good, discretion, So it's like they black women say that they want a result, but they're not doing what it takes to get that result. And that's the unfortunate thing.
And I think it's because the blueprint hasn't, either the blueprint is wrong or no one is paying attention to it, right? At the end of the day. It maybe society and the way that we think right now has changed so rapidly, but it was like before there was a blueprint, like you do this and then you do this, and then first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby carriage, you know what I mean? And it's like no one is following this anymore. And I think that that has a lot to do with um I don't know, of the value system and how people value themselves, right? They're two different things. What are your values, and how do you value yourself? Um I think that has a lot to do with the discord between men and women right now. We value different things, and um people don't feel like they are getting recognized or the kudos for for whatever they value on each side. And then that breeds resentment and maybe some anger, which is like, well, then, like I said, well, F you, Negro, well, F you, B, and then you've got this contention between the both of us. I don't know. What do you guys feel about that?
But I gotta ask this, Tiff. My fault, Mom. Let me just say this one thing, right? How is this society and black men are still getting married and other women from other races are choosing him, right? So it goes to show black men are not the problem. If they desire us, Tiff, right? And every other race sees the value in a black man, but the black woman doesn't see the value in the black man. But the other races of men see the value in their woman, and those other races don't see the value in black women. That means the common denominator is the black woman. There's a problem with this woman, right? And what the problem is that they're out of order and out of control. Simple.
I get it. I hear you. I
It's not. We're just reporting what's happening.
Yeah,
Tip,
yeah.
most obese, the heaviest weight. Black women are the heaviest, right? They are the least desired, right? They're in most. Oh, I don't know what happened. Oh, like debt. They're in the most debt as far as for for education.
Mhm.
There's so many bad data points that's pointing towards black women. Black women are still getting married. Oh yeah, and black men are still getting married, Tiff, and black women are not, but still having children. So we need to focus on the black woman and what she could do better, right? Not to say that black men don't have work to do, but when you look at it, I would point more so towards black women and them becoming better representations, right, within the community. I mean, I know it's a hard pill to swallow for black women to hear, even if they're not a part of that statistic, but we have to be, self-aware. And there's nothing wrong with constructive criticism when it's coming from the men who are most likely to give you that highest honor of marriage.
And listen, I know black men can be difficult. I'm difficult. So and I come from a long line of very outspoken, difficult black women. So with that being said, I think that we get a bad rap with that. Like black men, y'all know y'all women. Y'all know us. Y'all have mothers and grandmothers. Like you know what I mean? You know that we
Tiff.
have certain personality types, and the way, I can say this, the way certain black women might um express their sadness or pain, right? It might come across rude or like aggressive, whereas in another race, when someone is sad or in pain, they're crying and like doing the weak thing, like my God, I just can't. Like, I've had such a bad day. And it's like, okay, so because we don't weep and cry and, oh, I stubbed my toe, now I can't go to work for 2 days, someone come baby me. And but we carry our pain and we show it differently, right? It's like, nah, we need to get up, like, come on, y'all, we still got work to do, like, and I feel like that that has like turned men off. It's like, no, we rather have the crying, oh my God, I don't know what to do, solve my problems woman, opposed to the woman who's like, yeah, no, I broke my foot and I still got to get to work tomorrow, and like, stop touching me. I don't need to be babied. Like, shit still needs to be done. The kitchen is mess. You
So
know
a
what I
man is
mean?
gonna
And I
say,
feel like we just,
okay,
now we're too masculine, right? Now black women are labeled too masculine or too aggressive, and it's like, we don't have that opportunity. We've never been taught. We have never had the luxury of being soft and, oh, I just can't today, baby, can you? And I think that should be celebrated and appreciated in black women, that like, we literally can like get shit done. And look, we've got a migraine, we got cramps, we got this, but we still have to do all of these things and cater and all this stuff. And because it doesn't come off as, like I said, just this soft, um I don't know, passive aggressive way. It's like we've been labeled all of these years for us having to shield up and keep moving. And I feel like black women have gotten a bad rep because of that.
But you chose to make yourselves independent. You isolated yourself to where that you had to be stronger, right? So that's one. Um, you know, number two is, I don't even think that, like, when you say that, Tiff, you guys can be with a man and have a partnership to where is that a lot of that load is taken off of you, right? So, but and black women weren't always this masculine. You had times where black women were very feminine, but that's when she was next to her man. But if you isolate yourself and you wear your independence like a badge of honor, obviously you're going to be put in situations to where is that you're going to have to start being more masculine, right? And then it's going to start becoming more of who you are. It's going to be ingrained in you, right? But look at the whole, right? So let's move away from that. Let's go to the weight issues that black women have. We all know that physical attraction is number one when it comes to what men are attracted to, right? It's physical first. Why haven't black women taken responsibility to become healthier?
I have to study that because I don't know those statistics.
Black are the heaviest.
I mean, I know what you're saying, and I'm not saying that you get the statistics wrong, but I have to delve, like,
Google real quick.
I want to delve deep into like, who are you looking at? What's the demographics? What areas
If the
are
average woman, you can Google that right now. You do it
four
right now.
out of
The
four,
average,
4 out of every 5 black women are are overweight or
and
obese.
overweight by what? Like
the average
the
black
BMI standard, which they've already said is like
Tiff, the average
natural.
black woman weighs 187 pounds.
Okay. So what if I,
That's more
for
than
shits and giggles, what if I told you I'm 187 pounds? Would you believe me?
I don't know if I would, but yeah, I would believe you're a black woman, and 4 out of every 5 black women are out of shape or obese. Overweight or obese.
I hate you.
But Tiff, like, right? I mean, that's something that's in a black woman's control.
Right.
It's her
Right.
weight, if she's high calorie or not. And what I'm saying is that they gave up. It's to the point now where they're like, you know what? I don't care if I'm desired anymore, right? I don't care if my men look at me as a sex something that I'm desiring.
Yeah, visibly pleasing.
I mean, Tiff, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I always think that when you look at the problems within our community, the black woman is quick to look outside of herself and not take responsibility for her own actions, and it's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate. And
I
then,
think that we have a lot of different segments within our community on both sides, right? We've got the BBL girls, and we got the baby mamas, and you know what I mean. We have all these layers to who we are, and the same thing vice versa for men too. You got women with daddy issues, men with mommy issues, across the board. Um and it's really difficult because somebody has to take that first step, like as a whole, right? Not just one individual, because all of us, like, the three of us, we might be in really great relationships right now, right? And we found the people that we're going to be with. We're parents. We've been here, we've done that. We have our core beliefs and our value systems. um and that came from somewhere, and if it didn't come from home growing up, you found it as an adult. You know what I mean? um but people aren't looking for that nowadays. And so when we talk about, let's say, maybe let's put an age to it, 40 and under, 35 and under, right? Like, what's really going on? And I don't think anybody trusts each other anymore, period. Like, no one wants to take accountability. Like, they're just like you said, they just want to be uber independent, and I'll do what I'll do whatever I want to do. Guys are thinking, I don't want to get myself caught up in a relationship because I want to cheat, I want to sleep around, I want to be in the street, so I'm not going to wife anybody up. I'm not going to get into a
black men are getting married, Tiff.
I'm not saying that they're not, but like I said, that's why I gave the age, the 35 and under. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Oh, sorry.
So it's just to what you said, because I think you said something that was really important. You said someone has to make the first step, right? So I would ask, with us knowing that black women don't trust black men or don't want to be led by black men, who should take the first step and say, you know what, I'm going to surrender and give a chance, or should say, hey, I'm done, or bitch, get over here. You're going to come under my rule, right? Who should make the first
Yeah.
step, given the information that we have, right? Because initially, what it seems like to me is that the black woman is the one that has the power, right? Because we can't yank you by the neck and put you in a house and make you
Yeah.
follow us, right? We have law enforcement for that. But then you're the one who can say, you know what, I'm going to give you the responsibility. Take the lead now, and let's see how you do with it. So, with that being said, my question to you is: with all the information that we know, who do you think should take the first step? Because I think that was a good point that you brought up.
Can we do it together? Like, can we literally, like, hold hands and jump the broom
Tiff,
together as in
Tiff, I'm
unity?
done with you. That's not what you
I know.
said.
I'm just
That's
saying.
not what
And now that I'm thinking about it, I think maybe this is a team effort. It's like we have to do it collectively, right?
Tiff. You know why you did that?
No, I'm
It's because you don't want to
serious.
put it on the woman.
I agreed with you that the
You-
women have more of the power, right? Because we're the ones that have the walls up right now. And I agree with
So
you.
then
We
they
need
got to
to
take the
soften.
first step.
But how are we breaking down those walls, right? So it's a two-part
You have to
thing.
take the
One, you
risk.
have to be willing. The woman has to be willing to say, I'm gonna break down these walls. I'm Somebody on the other side as well needs to be on the other side saying, I'm going to help you break down those walls, or I'm going to put these bricks in a nice pile for you as you're doing it, right? That's why I say I think it's, at the end of the day, it's it's a team effort. But I will answer your question. The
She needs to make
woman
the
has
first.
to be willing to to break down her defense mechanisms first. They're not going to come down just because a guy asks.
There we go. Look at that. It's killing Tiff. It is killing her, yo.
I'm fine.
I love it. I
I
love it.
think that was a good. I think we just came up with like a good solution and understanding.
So I asked this, right? Do you think black women should listen to black men? Bring it back to the look at her face. Do you think black women should listen to black men?
I think that I think black women should follow their heart and their
Oh, no, no, no,
no,
no, Tiff.
let me. I think that they should follow their intuition. That's a better word. They should follow
What?
whatever voices that they have
You've been doing that
inside.
for the past
That
50
if they
years.
can trust that man that they're with, it's going to be a lot easier to listen to them if she can trust. Because if I don't trust you, I ain't listening to shit.
But Tiff,
Tiff, you picked
So
but women are having kids with men that they don't trust them.
I know, and I don't know. Like that upsets me.
For them. So
I have a daughter, you know what I mean? So,
but take yourself out of it.
right.
Speak to these women. Should these women out here listen and open themselves up to be led by?
Yeah. I'm all right. Honestly, all jokes aside,
man.
no, listen. I believe that there should be order. I believe that the Bible says that there should be 2 parents in the household. There's a reason why you have dad who is like, more logical, maybe the disciplinarian, maybe a little bit more aggressive, and you have mom who's the nurturer and she takes care of things, and she's there to give you hugs and kisses, and dad is there to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. I think that dynamic is missing in so many of our households nowadays, and that's why our children are so impressionable and they don't have a value system or a belief system anymore. So yes, I do feel like, guess what? We did it. Like, yay, black women, we've arrived, right? We did all the things that our grandmothers never had an opportunity to do and that our mothers wanted to do.
And guess what? You guys are worse off now than.
That's not nice.
More women now are on anti-anxiety and anti-depression medication than ever. And if you look at the paradox, right, of women's happiness, it's declining.
So I'm just gonna say that we are trying to be more docile like the others, right? It's so natural for them to just be like so calm and cool, right? And so maybe medication helps us be calm and cool like them. I don't know. I'm not on medication. I'm, disclaimer, putting that out there. But I think that we've done a lot. We've come a long way. And I think this panel, I know you guys are amazing black men, just to like give kudos to those women that have actually done. You did this, you accomplished that, you CEO, you master's degree, good job. Okay, y'all, it's time to come back home. It's time to come back home. Y'all did it, but y'all are stressed out, y'all are overworked, you're underpaid, you're underappreciated. It's time to come back home. And that's why I said it's a 2-part thing, because y'all men, I need y'all to like open your arms and say it's okay. Like, come back.
We've been waiting.
Come back home. It's y'all did it. Y'all did it. Now let me take.
So, but we didn't send you out there.
No,
Tiff.
you
Why
didn't. They did. They made us because they took you away from us.
Right. So we've been telling y'all come home, and y'all said no. Y'all don't need no man. So my thing is this though, Tiff. Right? With all the things, because let me say this. You said about the masters and all of this, degrees, jobs, all of that. And this now I'm talking personally. My grandmother, I loved her to death. I don't know if she had a degree in, I don't even know if she finished elementary
Mhm.
school, but I know my grandmother brought so much love and peace to that household, right? So these women now, they have degrees and are bringing hell to the household. Everyone is going to remember them for being the nag. No one is going to remember them for the loving energy that they had in the
Right.
household. So it goes to show whatever you're doing isn't and has not worked, right? So if black men have been trying to pursue you and you're saying you don't need
Mhm.
black men and it's been failing for you, even with all your degrees, should you now humbly come back home and say, black man, I want to come back. Will you accept
Okay,
me?
that's not.
And
That's not.
I
That's
let me
not.
let me but you know what? You know what? You know what? I was being funny, but the fact of the matter is that's really what should that's there's nothing wrong with saying, yo, I failed. Please take me back. And you're saying that's not gonna, it's so
No.
far
Okay.
fetched.
First, take the word back. Fail, because we didn't fail. What happened was
Tiff,
our parent, like your grandmother, right? I'm pretty sure.
Tiff,
Listen.
failed. You guys are leading the worst statistics, Tiff.
That's a
It's a
failure.
failure.
If
Listen.
I come back home with a 27% score to my mother from class, I'm getting my ass beat. I
Oh
was getting my
hell
ass
yeah.
beat. I failed,
Right.
right?
Right.
Even if I came back with a 65, I failed. There's consequences for that, right? So that's, and 65 was barely
Right.
passing. You women are failing. You're not married. You're angry. Like he said, you're on antidepressants. You're suffering from anxiety. You're
Overweight,
overworked. You're
right?
overweight.
In school debt, most repossessed, right? Cars and homes, foreclosed. Tiff, also, when you look at the amount of black women with useless degrees, black women are getting laid off. And you know the funny thing is, the more of a first world we live in, the more women tend to forget how much they need men. The more we get back to reality, if
Mhm.
all the office jobs was taken away, if everything was built off of manual labor jobs, what would happen?
Oh, we would be back in 1910. Men would have jobs and women wouldn't.
No, no, but they would have.
Women would be taking care of the home. Why you got to say women wouldn't
Well,
have? Like, you try to put it in the worst way ever. Like,
Even if women had the opportunity to work those jobs, they couldn't outcompete. They could not compete against men to get those jobs.
right. Right.
So what I'm saying to you is, we live in a world where we have a lot of privilege and cushion. So a lot of times, black women, they forget, damn, I really need this black man to protect me, to provide for me. And I think that even though, like, I hear people say, oh, the black man was taken out of our homes, right? The crack epidemic and all that. But before then, the social programs, the Welfare Act, where black women chose welfare over the black man, right? When they introduced welfare, but said you can't have the man and the welfare, who do you choose? The black woman said, I'll take the welfare. And then there's a documentary that this economist put out, and it highlighted how black men were speaking ill of black men. I had a baby with him, but I don't want him in the house. It
Mhm.
was a bunch of women raising a man, a young boy. Women can't raise a man to become a man. Only a man can do that.
Absolutely.
And then how can a young girl pick or know what a good man looks like if there's no man in the household? So it's a repeated cycle,
It's a yeah.
and
Yep.
it's sad. And like what Omar said, it's funny, but it's not funny. Black women should say, "Hey, we failed. Can you please take us back?" Because
And that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Like, okay, so I'm putting my leadership hat on, right? It's not a failure to try. And so when you say, "Oh, we failed," that's not
you've been
true.
trying for
But
almost
Tiff,
100 years.
but you know why it's a failure? Because you should have never tried to step away, hold on, Tiff, from a man of your race, right? That was there for you from the beginning.
Okay, so a lot of them were not there from the beginning, right? And that's why it's an epidemic in the black community, and it's not just
But Tiff,
one
black men
group.
are getting, but Tiff. So when you say that, who left who, Tiff? We didn't leave you. You left us.
So Tiff, I'll just
Yeah.
ask this: knowing that women should take the first step, Do you think that black women should listen to black men now?
Yes, I think that there are some very respectful, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, I just drew a blank. There are worthy black men out there. Don't give up, black women. They're everywhere. Change your group of friends. Change where you're meeting people. Um, pray. Like, I don't put it on your vision board. You know what I mean? Like, whatever that looks like. But there are worthy black men out there that are worthy of your love, your submission, and everything else that comes with it. Don't give up. And I'm going to say that to both sides.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't give up on your black women. They have been carrying a burden for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We are built, black women were built tough. Period.
1000%.
Period. Having babies,
1000.
working in the field 12 hours a day, popping a baby out, and the next day carrying that baby on your back 12 hours in the field. We were built tough. You have to, black men have to respect that we are not these docile creatures that were eating grapes, getting fanned on the porch, and drinking lemonade, watching people work in our fields. No, we were the
1000.
workers working right next to y'all. We,
Yeah.
you know
I
what I
agree.
mean?
I
So
agree.
that masculine energy that you guys call it, and that's fine, we can call it masculine energy, but like, again, that didn't just come from somewhere. It's in our blood, it's in our DNA. We are warriors, you guys are warriors, we are warrior royalty. You know what I mean? And that has to be recognized and respected. Black women didn't fail. We went out on a limb and we said, we're going to try this. And just because maybe it did not work out does not necessarily, don't all right, black men out there, if y'all trying to bring y'all black women home, do not say the F word. All I'm just don't say the F word to them. Don't say, I know, baby, I know you failed. Cause she gonna,
Well, what's wrong
gonna
with
put up
failing? Let me
another
tell you something.
wall, you know.
What, but what's wrong with failing, Tiff? This is the problem. It's all of these trigger words and all of
It is
this. I don't like that word. And what's wrong with failing? We fail. You know how you get better at something. You know how you get
you
better at
fail
something.
at it
I
until you get it
I, I
right.
remember. So you fail at it because you learn
Okay,
what
I'm
went
just
wrong,
telling
and
you,
then
as a woman, when you say, "Oh, you failed," right? If a woman said that to y'all, "Oh, I know y'all tried, but y'all failed,"
Yeah,
right?
I'll say
The
it.
way you're going to interpret that is, "I'm a failure."
No, I was,
9 times out of
no,
10. Now, there,
no. As a comprehensive
there's
grown adult, I'm not going to interpret that as I'm a failure. I'm going to interpret that as I failed and I need to reassess and go back to
okay.
the
Just
drawing
say you
board and see
tried
where
it.
I went
You
wrong.
tried it. Come home. How about that? Y'all tried it. Come back home.
What is the
Don't say
problem with
that
failure?
word.
I'm asking you.
Yeah,
I'm asking you. What's the problem with failure? The word failure.
because black women have been working. They have been putting in the work, right?
We're not
No, no,
saying
so
that.
that's
We
what I'm
know.
saying. So the word fail belittles the work that they did. Now, whether it was right or wrong, whether it you do you understand? Like,
I
and
hear what
all
you're
I'm
saying.
saying is listen to the woman on the panel right now. Just don't use the F word, guys. Don't do it.
hear you. I
Okay.
hear you.
gained
I
a
hear
little
you.
bit
So ultimately, are you saying
more.
that black women should
I think
listen
black
to
women
black
should
men?
listen. There our black men have a lot of experience in history and they've gone through some shit. We need to listen to our black men because they're telling us what's hurt them, what the problem has been, where where
Okay.
where we're failing as you know, they're partners, right? And so just like we want y'all to listen to us when we say, oh, you know, da 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 da, black women, we have to do the same thing to our counterpart. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree.
That
I
was
Take
agree.
accountability. See?
There we
See? That's the one and only time.
so,
we had to beat it out of Tiff. We had to jump her.
yeah, we gotta write this down. A moment of history.
Exactly.
Facts.
Exactly.
Tip, take us home.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. At the end of the day, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. We have to be each other's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. I'm also my brother's keeper. And if we have that mindset and that thought process, we can come back together. We can change the course in the right direction. But we have to work together and appreciate each other at the end of the day. We would love to hear from y'all. So if you have any topics that you would like for us to discuss, please put it in the chat. And maybe, possibly, you might be able to join us on one episode.
Facts, facts. Tip, I appreciate you. Oh, I appreciate you too.
Appreciate you too,
Good
bro.
discussion. We have to build on this. We have to have like a part two.
Yeah.
Of why it's a little late. I was like a little tired, but next time we're really gonna dig a little bit deeper to like get understandings on the problems so we can have some solutions to. Until next time, the guys podcast. I'm Tiffany. I'm Octave. We out.